Good morning, y'all, and howdy from Texas. This is Dean Figington, and today we're going to do a quick tour of the citrus plants. Right here we have our Meyer lemon. This is a dwarf Meyer lemon. It's in a 38-ish gallon pot, as you can see, covered in fruit still. I may not get all the fruit that people that are in warmer climates get that can have these trees in ground. Unfortunately, my area is prone to abnormally low freezes every so often, so when those events happen, it can be pretty catastrophic on in-ground citrus trees. So I keep all of mine in a pot, and in doing so, I can bring them in during inclement weather, and they get to live a nice, happy life. Do I get thousands of citrus? No, but I'm okay with a few hundred. Meyer lemon is such a good lemon tree. About November for us is when these fruit really start to come into their ripeness. The zest is beautifully aromatic. The juice is nice and semi-sweet to have that little bit of tartness that you expect from the lemons. Really great tree. Pretty popular, easy to come by, and definitely will grow in a pot. Next we have an Australian finger lime. I believe they call this the devil's bush in Australia just because of how insanely sharp the thorns are on it, and it is absolutely covered in thorns. It's so brutal that when I work on this tree, harvesting and pruning, I have to wear leather welder's gloves or else you're going to get tore up. That being said, extremely unique fruit on it. Very fun tree to have, just because the fruit, if you've not tried them or seen them, produces these really interesting looking limes that when you cut them open, the arils, the little jewel pockets, those little jewel juice pebbles, just come spilling out. So it's often called citrus caviar. So it's just a really good plant. Kind of hard to find in our area because of the quarantine for citrus greening. But because of that, having this tree, I just feel kind of lucky. Being able to find one back in like 2019. So really good tree. Next I have a variegated Eureka pink lemon. This one is not mine. I've actually been babysitting this tree for about 2 years now. A friend of ours had to go out of state to care for her mother, so she loved this tree and asked if I could take care of it. It's still alive, Deb. So it's a really fun tree. The inside of the lemons is this beautiful pink color. It has this great variegation to it. So the leaves are variegated, the fruit are variegated. So it's just a really showy kind of citrus plant. And when these fruit finally ripen up, they're great. A real showstopper. This is my Eureka variegated lemon. It's a little older, a little bit bigger of a pot. It does okay. I've always had kind of trouble with my tree. Sometimes it wants to defoliate. Most of the time it gets just absolutely devastated by citrus leaf miner. I can't really use neem oil. Especially in the summertime, it will cook these plants. If you've ever used neem in a hot environment before, you absolutely know it's like putting suntan oil on your plants, and they can absolutely get fried in the summertime. So we have to shy away from using neem oil. I've considered using things like spinosad, which is an organic product. It has some devastating properties on bees, so it's recommended to apply it at night when the bees are not active. Once it's dry, it's perfectly fine and non-harmful, but it's hard to justify putting stuff on a tree that without anything is still doing just fine, still producing plenty of fruit. So most of the time I just let it go as is and don't worry about it. A lot of people would consider citrus leaf miner to be a cosmetic issue. And for the most part, yes, it is a cosmetic issue. It does make your leaves look really bad. An issue I have is when the leaves start to roll up like this instead of being like this. At some point, it takes more energy for this tree to hold on to, these leaves than these leaves are actually providing energy back. So, yeah, it's a interesting issue to deal with. But once your tree is mature, it really doesn't have too big of an effect. Would it be nice to have this tree, leaf out, be full of vegetative growth? Absolutely. But you kind of just got to deal with the good and the bad. Good, no chemicals. The bad, I kind of got an ugly tree. And our last one, this is a key lime or a Mexican lime. I got this tree as a Father's Day gift, about 8 years ago. I absolutely adore this tree. I love key limes. They're great in a beer, Corona especially, really good. They make great desserts. They go great in waters. We use a lot of key limes. That's why this is in a 52-gallon pot, I want to say. It's a big tree. It's a big tree, and it was trimmed aggressively this year. I started moving these trees to this area so they could get irrigation off this irrigation head. They do really well here, but this little sloped angle it's on, it had a bit of an accident. You can see here this branch had to be pruned. Some of these branches that face the fence had to be pruned away so it would fit closer. I moved it to this location because I thought it'd be nice to be able to share limes with my neighbor next door. They're really nice people, so we wanted to be able to have something that they could enjoy as well. And you can never pick all the limes off this in a season. I think last year we probably got close to 800 key limes off of it. We were just giving them away. We couldn't use them all. But you can see why it gets these huge little clusters, if that's a thing, of fruit. It will naturally drop some, as you can see here. It goes down to 2-3 fruit out of one of those, but once it is stable and it's happy, it just keeps flowering and fruiting. So really great plant. Really pretty simple to care for, all these citrus. In the pots I fertilize maybe 4 times a year. Bone meal, blood meal are great organic options. Some powdered eggshells to ensure we're getting calcium. I use azomite, which is a micro and macronutrient supplement. So it gets fed, and because of it, it still maintains a really happy and healthy lifestyle with plenty of limes. Pretty sweet. So I appreciate y'all hanging out this far, seeing the citrus. We got plenty of more things in the garden to talk about. Plenty of figs, plenty of vegetables, flowers, all kinds of stuff. So thank y'all again for tuning in. Have a great day. See you later.